Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy. And today I'm going to be going over some ways small, medium, and large businesses can fight racism and be better for society. That's a long title, but hear me out. So you got places that'll say, you know, they just throw out the whole, oh, well, Black Lives Matter. They'll say that now. They will, fire someone who has come out and said racist stuff only if blasted by social media. They will say we apologize for any racist stuff that we have said, advocated, or allowed through willfulness or ignorance, and we are sorry about that. See, that doesn't help anything. That doesn't help anything. You can even denounce racism. It doesn't help. It doesn't show that you've changed. It really doesn't. It's no different than saying, yes, I have some Hispanic friends. Yes, I have some Asian friends. Yes, I have a black or some black friends. Yes, I know or have met or I am cool with some people from the Middle East or Japan or China. I got some friends that live here and there. I know some people. That doesn't help. That doesn't. It's a beard. It's false. It's a lie. See, you need to put your money where your mouth is. You need to put your words on the table in that poker game and show that it's a real hand. That's what you need to do. And here's some ways to do it, and you're not going to like it. Why? Because it means you might have to actually do something. You might actually have to turn a blind eye to the things you love to point out so that you don't do the wrong thing and hire people that are undesirable due to their skin tone. I'm going to help you out. This is what I think all these little small, medium, and large businesses should do to really help everyone. See, the first step in making sure that racism stays the way it is, this is why we got affirmative action, so that you have to hire some black people, so it doesn't matter how qualified, unqualified, or messed up they are, you could just kind of hire a black person, you'd be all right. We wouldn't have affirmative action if y'all weren't so actively racist. Just keep that in mind. So, if you really are sorry, showing regret, sorry, I'm sorry, not the BS colloquial way that sorry is. No, I mean like you're actually apologizing and you really mean it. See, people, you don't look at their names. They don't have a name. In your job applications that you have sitting out there, try this. No name is allowed. You might be asking, well, how do we know? How do we know who they are? Well, you got to know who they are. See, they got to fill out. They don't even need to have an address. Nope, don't even need that. They need a phone number. Why should they have an address when you're not going to mail them anything? What, do they need a place of residence so they can work there? Why do they have to have a place to live so that they can work where you don't even care about them? They don't need that. What they need is money. They're not working for you because they're looking to have fun and fulfill your dreams. They're working to get money so they can sustain their own life. That's the relationship. If you want someone like you, then, have a bunch of kids, have them work in your own shop and then be done with it. So take the names off, take the address off. They only need a phone number. And on the job application, you need an applicant number. And they need to remember that number. And see, a person that's not going to write down the applicant number, and it should be the top sheet, should be theirs. That top sheet you can usually tear off. Yeah, it should be theirs. They can take that home. They got the applicant number and stuff. Or make sure you have pen and paper or pencil and paper so you can write down your applicant number. So when you do call them, you say, yes, I am trying to reach applicant number such and such and such. That'd be a good way. And you shouldn't be listening to their voice if they're black or they're white, if they have an accent or not. If they can fill out their application, pen or pencil, in English, and they do it themselves, is good enough. I mean, You should be able to speak the language before you write the language. That's usually how it goes. So you've got that. So when you call, you can talk to them and they can just say, yes, I am such and such, and I am that applicant. Because see, when you call them, you only need to call not those you're interested, but those that will get the job. You've already looked at the others. You look for the most qualified to do it. You start at the top of the most qualified. And then you work your way down, because they might be sick. They might have sustained an injury. They might have got a better position somewhere else. A lesser position, but a position that actually called them back at a reasonable time. Yeah, it ain't just them that's got to be on time. And then speaking on time, how about this? Because see, some people don't have an address. Some people don't have reliable transportation. Because people sometimes just don't have the money to have that lifestyle where they can just, be middle class and have 1 or 2 or 3 cars. Some just got to take the bus. And that means they got to wake up 1 or 2 or 3 hours early. They probably didn't get that much rest anyway. Then they got to get to the bus stop after getting, a shower and maybe get some food, maybe get to that bus stop and then wait in the rain, the cold, and, the heat or something. And then sit on that bus. Hopefully it's air conditioned, because some just are not. And then they got to get to your place, where after they done got beat up for 2 or 3 hours from the weather and whatnot, and being on maybe a danked up bus, now they got to work for you, who isn't going to treat them any better. You see the pattern? So something you could possibly do is you could probably hire somebody or have someone on duty say, hey, look, this person here, they don't have their own reliable transportation. So then that means you can become the reliable transportation. Think about it. It's your company, correct? It is your company. You want your company to do well, don't you? You want to hire the most qualified people, don't you? Then you need to put something on the table. And putting something on the table isn't, well, I'm giving them money. No, that's an exchange. You want the best for your company. You're going to get the best. So therefore, you should provide some transportation. Someone or some things can go say, hey, we're going to pick you up or whatnot. Yeah, people can call an Uber and all this other stuff, and that's very fine. Some people are afraid of that. In truth, if you have a company car, someone that by the company, then they wouldn't have to pay an Uber with money they don't have yet, because they're not working. See, this is your first day or something on the job. Help them out. Help them get to work. Show that you are a team player and they are not a player on your team. See what I'm saying? A little back and forth relationship. That can help some. And if you're in the mindset of, well, nobody's going to do that, no one's going to do it if you don't do it. And no one's going to do it if you don't help pressure others do it. Well, this company don't have that. I ain't even going to try to work for them. And if the company don't have employees, then that company isn't going to do well at all. Because if the employees have standards, you don't need a union. You just need employees with standards. So this company don't do these few things, then what good is this company? Not working there, not filling out application. That company goes under. So they're going to get their act right. Put the power in your hands. See, that's socialism. Putting the power in the employees' hands. And not saying, well, you know what? I didn't kill you today, so you all right? Yeah, yes, sir. I'll keep working for you. Please don't beat me, sir, for being late. That few seconds, that cost me a whole lot of money. Yeah, that's how it used to be said and used to be done. So, fighting racism means removing race and then hiring based on ability, availability. Are they able to work there and not somewhere else? Sure. Do they already have 2 or 3 jobs? Maybe you should pay them what those 2 or 3 jobs are worth. How about do that? Add up what they're making. Maybe you might pay a little bit less. Raise your financial wages, and then you got others that say, I can drop these 2 jobs, these 2 part-times, pick up you as my main, and then work for you exclusively. And then other people can use those other jobs for full or part-time. You open up businesses for other people while you get a great employee. I think that's something that should be done. I think also making sure that your business is going to be people friendly. That means you can't have any scrutiny, right? No scandals. So you have to do everything on the up and up. You can't treat one employee better than the other. If they're all your employees, you have to listen to them, because better employees help them work better at that job. To go into a job stressed because they have to deal with you, or special treatment that a supervisor or a manager or upper manager or district manager or whatnot get. That's hard. That's stressful. They start looking for other places to work. And you wonder why they underperform. See? How about this? Make sure everyone gets paid well. Make sure that, and this just might be out of your realm, but make sure people get paid well. Make sure that they, get paid a living wage and not what, the little that you can pay. Pay them what you would like to be paid if you work there. Ain't about how much a person is worth. No, how much would you, the employee or the employer, how would you like to get paid when you go to this job? Do you want to get paid $7.25? You want to get paid $7.45? You want to get paid $7.75? How much do you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid $15? I mean, that's still scraping the bottom. Still not exactly going to help a family. Just because they get more money don't mean they actually get better life. Maybe pay them that $22 to $24 that you would like to get paid. Maybe explain to them how they can own stock in your company and make money off of that. And then tell them how they can make the company better in various ways. And how about this? This is novel. This is real novel. When they sign up for a position, how about you make it so that that's all that they do, unless they want to change? So let's say you have somebody in a, let's say it's a farm, okay? If they're supposed to be the ones that, keep the barn grounds clear, they do the raking and the sweeping to make sure any loose strands are hay, because you want to keep it nice and stuff looking. That's what they are. They're the sweep. They sweeper. All right. That's all they need to do. To sign them up to say, yeah, you're going to be the one that sweeps the barn and all this and make it nice and neat. And then you say, now you got to do hay gathering. You got to clean the horses. You got to clean the pigs once in a while. You got to fill the troughs. See, they signed up for one, but now they got 5 other things. And then as time goes on, without increasing pay, you still give them more things to do. How about you just restrict them to the one thing they signed up for? And if you're saying, well, I'm not going to pay someone $15 or $20 something to do that one thing, then how about you put on the application exactly what they're signing up for? And then they can choose if they want to work for you or not. Instead of you lying to them, and then they come in there and you say, well, look, you can get this little bit of money and keep your job, or you cannot do this stuff and then have no job, and now you have nothing, so you're going to be out on the street soon. You need to see at that point, that's when you're threatening them. See, usually that's a crime. That's extortion. See what I'm saying? That's extortion. And see, if they had standards and took power into their own hands, they could put you in prison for extorting them. It's like a bad guy saying, join me or die. Can you do anything less? Just think about that. These are things that could help. Put your items or whatever you're selling or whatever you're doing, put it online so everyone can see. And have your employees say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we have. And I think you should come and work here, shop here, buy from here, partner here, or something. Make sure that if your profits go up, their pay goes up with it. If you pocket all the profits and then you just sit back on your laurels while they keep working that hard with nothing else to show, then what's the point of them being there? Because then another company can say, well, we're going to give a share of our profits to our employees. And now the ones you have there, they're going to jump ship. Because people want to live. And in a capitalist society, If making more money is the idea and you're hoarding that profit, that money for you, then that makes it so that you aren't worth anything anymore. Because you personally might be worth those millions, but they are still worth that $7.45 an hour. Or they're still worth that $15 an hour that's not really taking care of their family, just keeping them slightly afloat if they cut a lot of things out of their lives. You know, the car breaking down if they got one, helping pay for company gas, that would be a good thing you could do. That could come out of their paycheck, you know, $4 out of their paycheck, company gas. You store that and don't keep that. You use it just to pay, you know, and then you could definitely use that to hire people to actually from your company pick up employees. There you go. Make your company self-sufficient and then have it be an actual financial family. And don't lie talking about we're a family company. Just say we work with you. We would treat you the way we want to treat ourselves. So we're going to give you a share of things. You know, if you're going to profit 100% and you've only got 10 employees, hey, break them off 5% bonus. They can keep that because that's your, you know, you got the profits. Fine, give them something tangible, something that when you give them that bonus, it doesn't supplement the taxes taken out of their pay. They actually see a boost on their pay and not some 9 to 5 nickel and dime level boost where it's like, oh my goodness, 45 extra cents, I'm ecstatic. No, we're talking about the $5 and $10 and $20 boost on their paycheck. So when they get paid, they can say, man, I got an extra $20. I can do this little thing. Try doing that. Making your business social, friendly, employee friendly, balanced, fair, honorable, and making it non-racist. So when someone you find has a racist past and you find that they haven't gotten rid of it at all, or at least all of it, they got to go. You know, they've got a racist past that they haven't let go of. They got to be fired. They got to go, or don't hire them. If you see they've done something on social media of any kind that's racist, you got to let them go. And it can't be something that you deem racist, you know, because context is everything. So you have to listen to it. Ask, what did they really mean by this? And not ask that to give the excuse so that you can keep them and not get rid of them, because they might have done something to some employees that's come to you. And when an employee go to you, how about this? Don't write them off. Say, wait, that person said or did this? Bring that person in. You can look at that person and tell if they're lying. They could have done something racist or not racist. It could have been sexist. You know, it could have been anything. Look at them. See if they're lying. And hey, how about this? Let's say they just come out and say, yeah, I did do that. I really don't know what was in my head. That doesn't mean you fire them. No, sit down, talk to them, figure it out. Everyone sit down and figure it out. Why would you do this? Because see, if you can help them overcome that, not only have you saved an employee, you might have actually created, possibly, I'm not saying it will happen, but possibly, you could have made friends. You could have made these two people that normally would have turned into outright enemies on a battlefield into friends, because one can now acknowledge what they did. No, they shouldn't have done it. Maybe the other person can get along with them and be like, okay, now we can have an honest adult conversation about it. Your job could be a grand benefit to society, because then if you make that person or allow that person or suggest to that person to be better socially and get rid of this racism, whether that person of any color or creed or whatnot, you might have actually infected that person to infect others around them, that circle that bred that hatred in the first place. And then you've made your company stronger. You've made that person stronger. And maybe they can dispel the stuff in their family and then therefore spread out to make society better. These things are possible. All it takes is somebody, and I know this is going to be hard. I know this, but it just takes somebody that actually cares. Not someone that says they care just for an advertisement or a photo op, but someone that actually cares, someone that will listen, someone that is an employer, that is a judge, jury, executioner. And I mean a good judge, not a judge that just says, I have the final decision, I do what I want to do, but somebody that actually cares about society. If a fight breaks out in your company, why did it break out? What happened? That don't mean you fire them. Sit them down, figure it out. What caused it? Figure out the root and say, look, at the moment, it's an investigation. No one's going to get fired unless it has to be. And hopefully no one has to be. So let's just talk it out. Let's figure this out and see how we can move forward positively. And if there, and I want to talk to y'all at least once a week, see if there's any animosity that's still going on. Are you still feeling a certain way? Because when people don't get justice, they will hold on to that bitterness. So it's good to talk things out. I think these are positive things that any company can do. I really do. You know, and if you don't want to pay for their little Uber driver or whatnot, you know, their little Uber ride or whatnot, whatever's going to pick them up, and you don't want to have your own that's going to do it, you know, for the company, then at least pay them extra until they can get their own transportation, and then you can, you know, drop that off. Drop it off once they get their own transportation. Like, okay, now you got your own. Good. Now your pay goes down to where it should be. Not unless they've worked their way up for a raise, and now, like, well, now it would just balance out. Well, let them keep it. They work that long or that hard or that smart. Not that hard, but that smart. And about hard work, it's about smart work. Using your time wisely. Being a better person. Getting the job done. Because if you get it done fast, you're most likely going to get it done wrong. Don't put them on such a speed dial, you know, dial it back. Not chill, just in that middle, that balance. You know, these are things that businesses can do. Some have done it. Maybe it just seems too far reach in this society. I'm just reaching way out of my league. Maybe I'm saying too many nice or kind things. But I think it's all possible. No matter what stormy weather there is, I really do think sunshine is just on the other side just if we let it. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.